Hi, I'm Adam and I'm Dragon.
I'm Chris and I'm Ball.
And we don't podcast.
But what we did do today is watch a
wonderful little American adaptation.
I was a little stumped how to describe this. It's one of the most known or well known adaptations of an anime.
One of the earliest examples of an English live action adaptation of an anime.
Yeah. Dragonball Evolution.
The classic.
The hit.
The legend.
Yeah. We don't have tea today. Before we jump into spoilers,
I have a bottle of water.
I don't have it. I was thinking about getting a soda. Maybe I will get a soda.
We're dying from the food we got at McDonald's. So
I need to just keep that soundbite of you just saying McDonald's. Just use that for whatever.
It was really good.
Oh, it was very good.
I would definitely order the wontons tossed with chili oil at McDonald's again.
I would also have that. That was really good. The mushroom mix, whatever.
Yeah, the mushroom stir fry from McDonald's.
Okay, but Dragon Ball Evolution. What?
Well, okay, we should probably start with our experiences just with Dragon Ball, right?
Well,
in general,
I think even before that, for me, just about the idea of adaptations and my feelings on stuff, on movies and such. I don't know. I'll start, and then you can pivot to where you think you want to go. Okay, because back in the day, me and my sister were really big fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The show.
I was also a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender,
and we loved the show. And when the live action movie was announced, me and her lost our shit. We were just like, "This is so good!" So we made our dad bring us to the movie theater and watch it. That was the first time I think I truly experienced disappointment in media. Both me and my sister were like, "This is awful. This was terrible." Our dad came out saying, "Oh, it wasn't that bad," and we were perplexed, to say the least, of how he enjoyed that garbage. And that was the first time I experienced an adaptation of something, because that was the first time I experienced something that I enjoyed, got excited for a different interpretation, and was left with sorrow, confusion, and pain. So this apparently came out a year after Last Airbender. Yes, and I don't know if I knew it was coming out or not, but I was a Dragon Ball fan. I've been a Dragon Ball fan since 6th grade, I think. And I really enjoyed the series. And I don't know if the Avatar: Last Airbender kind of pushed me off, or if I just didn't remember it being advertised as much because I wasn't paying attention. But
for whatever reason, you missed Dragon Ball Evolution in theaters.
And so, but through the cultural zeitgeist of this movie, I've picked up a lot of it through osmosis. So this was the first time I've watched it in full, and that's where I am to before we start getting into our feelings on the movie. I don't know about you.
Well, for me, I first got into Dragon Ball back when in middle school, when I started watching anime in general.
Yeah.
Because Toonami was airing Dragon Ball Kai, which is a remake of Dragon Ball Z.
That's how I got started onto it too.
Yeah, so the reason I got into anime was because I was following along with that, but I missed a week, so I tried to find it online, and it turns out, hey, wait a minute, there's
other stuff.
There's the next 10 episodes, but it's in the original Japanese. I'll just watch that. And so I did, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, the fuck is anime? You're telling me there's more shit like Dragon Ball Kai? And so I started watching other stuff, and then I spent all of middle school just watching shonen.
Hey, that's the start. You know what's funny? That I also saw Kai on TV, but I didn't go the internet route. I went, is there any physical copies of this I could put on DVD? Because we had a lot of DVD stuff here. And Kai, I didn't know that Kai was different than Z, just regular Z. So I bought the DVD set of Dragon Ball Z, and I watched it from there. And then from then on, I kind of, retroactively, I finished the series and I bought the originals, and I bought like the blue, orange, and green box sets of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. And I every year I would watch it all complete at least once. Then I got into high school, and then I realized, oh, there's other anime, and that's when I started watching other anime. But
yeah, okay, this is probably going to be a real hot take.
Sure.
Maybe it won't, and the people will agree with me, but here's my hot take. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are not all that good.
I mean,
there's aspects about it
yeah.
that are quite nice, but its influence greatly outshines its quality.
I would agree to that. I would also agree with that.
Kai is better because it's better paced, and the animation's like digital or whatever, looks nicer. But as far as like as like even compared to other anime that were airing at around the same time, Dragon Ball is not all that interesting. Yeah, I'd say. I mean, the reason why it was interesting to us was because it was just so unlike anything else that was being shown on TV at the time.
Yeah, I think a part of like, okay, if we're going by, I think each section of Dragon Ball has a different appeal. Like, I think Dragon Ball is what really brought a lot of people originally into the series, because it had this powerful protagonist that was just kind of wacky, and it was a very comedic show,
a fun little romp.
Yeah, but it also had like a very like straightforward goal, and they had a lot of different enemies and growth, and I think that Dragon Ball had a lot of like Goku's character development, of just like kind of getting to where he kind of becomes stagnant in just Z, and then Z is kind of just, this is the fighting show. Yeah. Which, if that's your thing, it's good at that. It does do fighting pretty fun. I think obviously some parts are better than others. Like, I'm a big fan of the Cell Saga stuff.
For me, when I was watching Dragon Ball Kai, it kind of like blew my mind, because I'm pretty sure that was like, besides Avatar, it was the only animated show that actually had a narrative that didn't just end after each episode.
Yeah, it had an overarching.
It has an overarching narrative. It's not purely episodic like the vast majority of American cartoons.
Yeah,
which
is good.
Yeah, that's like the main reason why I got into anime was it.
And then you realize, oh, this is
normal in this medium.
Yeah,
all right.
There's better ones too.
Yeah,
but like I love Dragon Ball Z. I also don't think that they're the best in kind of any of their fields nowadays. Like,
yeah, I will say, I think that Team 4 Star's DBZ Abridged is the best way to watch Dragon Ball Z.
I think it works better like after you watch the show, though. Like,
yes, but as far as like actually watching it, like especially like not so much for Kai, but for Dragon Ball Z is pretty slow.
Dragon Ball Z is very slow.
Yeah,
which is I don't know. Back in the day, I could just sit and watch Dragon Ball Z all the way through without. And be
I remember back in middle school when I was going through like the big three, I could crank through like 30 episodes in a day.
Now you see like 5 minutes of filler and you're like,
Now if I sniff even the faintest hint that they're going off topic in the story, I'm just like, ooh, 2 times speed.
But anyway, all of that to say,
yeah, I still have a positive overall opinion of Dragon Ball.
Yes, I do too.
So,
so now we watched Dragon Ball Evolution, the movie that made Dragon Ball Super happen, all of Super. Would you like to go first?
Well, it's
spoiler free, by the way.
Okay, spoiler free. You can skip this one.
both the movie and the episode of this podcast. Or
yes,
whatever.
Don't worry about it. Watch something else. Go and watch Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up instead. You'll probably get more out of that. Like, it's not okay. I didn't think it was horrible, right?
Okay.
I didn't think it was like a super offensive film, or that it was completely incompetent. It's just, it's like, it's below mediocre, but it's not in like the 2 or 1 out of 10 range, right?
Sure.
I
would disagree with you on one point, though.
Yeah, we're going to get into the specifics later,
Yeah.
but it's just that it's trying to adapt Dragon Ball, one of which is most people's introduction to anime, just in general, and it's considered in the community to be one of the greatest stories in anime told, and one of the most influential works.
At the very least, yeah, that's one of the most influential.
Yeah, and it seems like when you're watching it, it just kind of gives you the impression that the people who made it didn't really care all that much.
Yeah,
that's the part that's the worst about it, because the experience of watching this film is just kind of like, oh, okay, they're just kind of going and doing this now. It's not like a painful movie to get through, is what I'm trying to say. It's just the concept of it and the feeling that there's not much effort put into it is just like, this could have been so much better.
Yeah, I think if I were to have watched this when I was in my peak Dragon Ball phase, this movie would be so much worse for me than it
probably
was now.
Yeah.
And because when I think back on The Last Airbender, I was so excited. The show was so good, and you have this optimism and hope for this, and then you watch it, and it's not even that is just bad, but it's that it feels like it spits in your face. Like for
I haven't seen the Shyamalan version.
Yeah,
but
so okay, this in terms of how they treat the source material, because even stuff like the live action Death Note American movie, like I see what they were trying to do with that and how they try to spin some of the stuff, although I don't necessarily agree with all the stuff.
I remember thinking that the CG design they did for Ryuk was pretty good.
Oh yeah, and they got fucking
I didn't watch the Netflix adaptation, but that's what I remember from the trailer.
They got Willem Dafoe to voice Ryuk, which is like that's
William
the
Dafoe,
casting.
the voice of
The Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
Yes. So I think that casting was really good. But as any, all this to say that I can understand choices that were made, and although I think Avatar: The Last Airbender, like I think that movie tries to stick to certain scenes and plot lines and characters. Scrap the last one, not characters, but just scenes and plot lines. I think that they suck the souls out of all the characters, and they aren't, because I feel like in Dragon Ball Evolution, these are just different characters than ones from the show. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, they're the same characters except with the life sucked out of all of them, which I think is worse, in my opinion. Yeah. Because this is like it's some semblance of the original source material, but to where it's so watered down that you're like, it would be better if you just made a new character.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is one better point for Evolution, where, like, honestly, I'm gonna say it. If Goku wasn't Goku, I think I would have enjoyed his character, because there were scenes that I just enjoyed of him, like talking.
So
to Bulma.
if he wasn't Goku, but just some rando, awkward, powerful teenage guy,
I would have enjoyed him as a character, like more, because like as a Goku, it's awful. Like
he's probably the worst Goku.
Yeah, like there's no semblance of that character there, and that's why I think if this wasn't like a Dragon Ball movie, that would have worked better for me. Well, like I don't think it still would have been like cheesy and whatever, but I think it would have still worked. Well,
okay, we're kind of getting on to sort of the heart of the matter. Because this isn't really a Dragon Ball movie. It's like a Disney Channel cheaply made high school movie with a Dragon Ball paint job.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good description. Yeah. Okay, I guess, do you want to try to go spoilers? At the end of no spoilers, it's not good.
It's not good.
I think I don't hate it as much as I thought I would, or thinking back on it, because I knew so much about it, and because I've seen like worse when I was more excited. So like it didn't feel like as like I was really upset with Rise of Skywalker. I still appreciate what it does for some fans and people, but it was such a disappointment to me in the same way Avatar was, because I had such excitement and hope and whatever. This one I didn't, so I don't think it hurt as much. Like, it's still technically pretty bad. But
Yeah.
But I mean, you can hate watch it. I think that it's okay to hate watch. I don't think the other two are.
I think this one would be kind of hard to hate watch because, like, again, it's not really Dragon Ball, so it's not like I've said before. The experience of watching the movie is pretty smooth. Like everything is relatively quickly paced, and
I think it's actually very fast paced.
It's not like we're remaking Lord of the Rings and just...
Well, you are, and some people are.
No, some people are. It's not like we're remaking Lord of the Rings and having Frodo, like...
Kill Sam.
Kill Sam and drink his blood because he's a vampire.
That would have been a better movie, honestly. I mean, what? Sorry. You were saying?
It's... Okay. So... I think...
We're stumped.
I mean, to an extent, yes. Like, to me, it was just kind of like a complete nothing of a movie. Because nothing felt like it had any impact. And the story was just kind of like really generic. Like, oh, we gotta save the world, grab the MacGuffins. Fucking, oh, there's the big bad guy, go and...
See, it hit typical plot beats, but without any reason to them. Because I have some stuff that I want to bring up. That a lot of the movie just... outside, like, as a Dragon Ball movie, it's awful. It's garbage. It's terrible. As a movie outside, like, say there's no connection, there's still a lot of things that just don't make sense. Yeah. It tries to hit these beats because they're the typical beats, but then they don't have any explanation getting there or resolving it. Which, again, we'll get to. And so, I don't know, just...
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like my whole summary. I don't really know. It's just not good.
Yeah.
You can watch it. You're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that you'll get out of it is that you have also watched this movie.
and now you can understand to an extent why people hate the Dragon Ball movie in real life.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into spoilers.
Why they gotta do my boy Piccolo like that, huh? What's with his character design?
I'm gonna be honest. I think he's, albeit that is true, I think it's still one of the better like transitions from the characters.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough, I guess. Like Bulma doesn't look anything like Bulma. Goku doesn't look anything like Goku.
And Bulma's kind of like this badass in the movie, but in the show she's not. Like, she's smart, but she's not a badass.
Yeah, in the movie they kind of make her out to be like a Secret Service kind of a private eye, hunt down Indiana Jones kind of a Uncharted thing.
Yeah. Honestly, with this episode, we could just kind of go off tangent a bunch.
Oh, thank God!
Because I
do not want to talk about this movie.
Well, and
it is not interesting.
There are some things I do want to talk about, but it's okay. Like Bulma, she said she made a Dragon Ball tracker, right?
Yeah.
She also said the Dragon Ball was stolen last night. Did she make it in a day? And how would she have been able to make it if she didn't have the Dragon Ball originally?
If it was stolen and she has the tracker, why isn't she just trying to find that one and hunt down the thief?
I think it's just like a generic ball thing. But my thing,
but she didn't know that there were multiple Dragon Balls.
That's what I'm saying. Why'd she have that in the first place? Oh my God. Roshi is technically less pervy in this than the anime, which is a positive.
How progressive of them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they made him a lot less interesting of a character. He doesn't have a turtle on his back. He doesn't have the big facial hair. He's just kind of like an old-ish guy who knows how to do kung fu.
I was gonna say the old part, like not being old, would have bothered me, but also it's like in the show he drinks from like the fountain of youth, but that obviously doesn't come up in this movie. Also, this one isn't necessarily my original point, but I've heard it before. 2,000 years ago, for the Earth almost being destroyed by two monsters, is not that long ago.
Yeah,
Like,
that isn't.
so how does everyone just not know what these things are or have heard of them before? Like, even if they were just myths, they could have brought them up, like, oh, that's just a myth. They don't even bring that up. They're just like, what the fuck is that? Haha. Oozaru,
I've never heard
Piccolo?
of an Oozaru. What do you mean it killed half of humanity? What are you talking about?
Also, Oozaru is Goku.
Yes.
And I thought they were going to bring up like a reincarnation.
I thought they were taking like the big monkey version of Goku as just, oh, we're going to make that its own monster because we have to adapt the source material and we don't have time for this. But nope, just
Goku is Oozaru.
Goku is Oozaru,
and Oozaru landed there 18 years ago, and then after 18 years he become Oozaru again. So where was he for 2,000 years?
If he was defeated by the monks who were using the Mafuba to go deal with Piccolo, how could he have descended onto Earth?
Well, I thought they said he just went away or something. Oh. But either way, that doesn't explain why wait 2,000 years to come to Earth and then grow up.
Yeah.
Also, there's a line that I put... Somehow Piccolo has returned.
Yes. Somehow he has returned.
This was the first Palpatine. Piccolo, he was trapped in the by the evil containment wave, which is from the anime, but Mafuba.
Yeah, I didn't in the original Dragon Ball, I never got to the arcs with the Mafuba.
But the fucking he escapes because
somehow.
which again, that was why I don't like parts of Skywalker saga things, but yeah, like that's just dumb, and
he's an ancient evil, and we sealed him forever, and he escaped.
Yeah, Oozaru. I thought, but there's just little changes too that make it so dumb. Like those are, like they kept Piccolo being an alien.
Yes,
which I liked. Well, which I thought was interesting because in the Dragon Ball anime, they thought he was a demon lord.
He wasn't like in the original run of the manga. He wasn't an alien for like 20 years.
Yeah,
in real life, like real lifetime.
Yeah, like they thought he was just like a demon lord or something.
Yeah,
like, because they have like different.
Yeah, because there was King Piccolo, and then there was Piccolo that was the evil half of Kami.
Yeah, the evil Piccolo is the evil half of. King Piccolo is the evil half.
Okay, so then the Z Piccolo is
his reborn self.
Okay, got it.
It's like a son, kind of, but it's him reincarnated. But like, in the original series, they thought he was just like a demon lord.
Yeah.
And in this, they make him an alien. But then Oozaru, they don't explain as an alien or what he is. And then in Piccolo's thing, they call him. They reference Namekians, which they called the Nameks, which I'm like, why change that? Like, that was weird. Like, that was such a small change that you didn't, like, that was weird. And so, you don't have anything to do with that for some reason. They called ChiChi Emmy at one point, but then
Emmy?
they called her ChiChi again, and I was like...
Okay, I might have, I think I probably just, like... ignored that. Just, like, there's enough bullshit in this movie. I don't need to remember this line.
They call Goku Geeko.
Geeko.
It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's a couple funny things in this.
I promised my grandpa I wouldn't fight, and then he just dodges everything.
Yeah, he does the head slide on the car.
Oh yeah,
on top of his head, it's just like.
You know, that would have been pretty cool if they didn't just bombard you with cuts every like half second.
I literally wrote down.
Because like some
these
of the
cuts are hurting me.
Yeah, because some of the fight choreography was kind of neat, like with the head slide and like the thing where he was like dangling by his feet on the ropes at the beginning. Yeah, but every single fight scene, they
had
just
like 30
keep
cuts,
doing,
bro.
30 cuts for one action. It's just like, oh my god, stop!
Yeah, there was
my
like
eyes.
Maybe one or two where they kind of lingered on them, and I'm like, stay there. Like, so don't need to do anything. Let's see, I said I liked Piccolo's robe. He was kind of nice. I put, is this Mai from like
My Valentine?
No, from Mai from wait, is that her name, Mai Valentine?
No, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, Mai from like Piccolo's servant in this she's actually in the original series. She's a servant to this guy, Emperor Pilaf.
I didn't get to his arc, but sure. I was like, I recognize his name.
I was like, why did they use her? Like he had demon henchmen that he made because they literally showed him making them in the fucking movie, like his kids or whatever. So I thought that was a weird change for some reason. Also, no Krillin, which is
yeah, there wasn't. I didn't even think about that. Krillin is not in this,
which is weird. I don't know.
No one wanted to shave their head for the role.
We had an Avatar movie the year before.
Well, yeah, but that was like, that one had a little bit more care put into it, I guess.
I don't know if care is the right word, but it was more accurate, technically. So, which is,
I know there's a shot with a penis haircut. The lunar princess.
Yeah.
That's about all I know about the film.
It's weird that what you said. I said there's a weird love story going on with Goku ChiChi, which they fall in love very weirdly and quickly.
The very like forced. We as the audience do not believe this for a goddamn second.
Yeah,
because like he talks to ChiChi and then they're just automatically crushing on each other by default.
Dude, it was so weird when he like used his force powers to open all the lockers, and then she goes,
"Did you do that?"
And he's like, "Yeah." Like, what was that? and then she's like, "You used your key, right?" And it's like, which that was something. Let's see. If you think of something, you could go off tangent. I'm just kind of looking to see.
Oh boy, what do I remember from this movie other than just like
there's actual attempted murder by high schoolers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
like the bully Fuller.
Yeah, he just straight up runs him over with his car.
He does try to do that, yeah.
And then at the party,
he gets like a crowbar and tries to
just
kill it.
Wham! Just one whack with that, and he'd be fucking dead.
Well, normal.
Yeah, normal. Well, actually, we never in this version it's established that this Goku does get hurt by bullets, unlike in the original Dragon Ball.
Yes.
So a crowbar could kill him.
He's also Oozaru.
Yes.
I also put during the party the car died like right after. Has been 30 minutes. Hello. I hate this movie. I don't hate it. It's just bad. I hate the other movies because I saw them as kids. Not Rise of Skywalker, but still. Anyway.
I saw Rise of Skywalker as a kid. I left it as a senior citizen.
True and real. I put the dialogue just really bad. Just in general.
Yeah. They're not really having conversations so much as like
they're just stating things that are happening or that are feeling.
They're giving us enough information to like imply that there is some plot happening, so that we can connect the dots. Like, oh, they're doing this cliche.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple lines that Goku says that I liked. Like I said, if this was a different movie or this wasn't really Dragon Ball, I think Goku's kind of funny. A little bit. Like there's a scene where Bulma tries to look for Master Roshi and like on the internet or some shit, and then Goku's like, she's like, "There's no Roshi in the database," and Goku's like, "Have you tried Master?" I was like, that's kind of funny. I like that one, but maybe I was just so starved for
maybe it's. Okay, tell you what I do like. I think that it would have been a lot better if they if the technology was better and they put a little bit more time into it. But like the backgrounds and cityscapes, I thought were kind of creative. I mean, they never linger on them, so you can't really get much out of it. But someone was doing some good work there.
They're in
like, the background.
They're like, I have to do something.
Yeah,
trying to save this movie. Yeah, I don't know why wasn't Roshi on an island. Like, what's...
Well, I mean, he was just kind of like on a hill in the middle of town.
But his house was an island compared to like the rest of the city. But like, why wasn't he? Why couldn't they just have him like on an actual
Why didn't they have
island?
Kame House?
I also under that, like, wait,
That would have probably looked nicer in camera.
the Kamehameha can bring people back to life.
There's some weird stuff going on with the energy beams in this one,
Dude. They say air, fire, water are the three elements or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is more believable when it was just magic.
Yeah, because like in Dragon Ball, it's like you're manifesting the energy of your personal self and exploding it out into a point. But in this, it's just a gust of air, and it also has healing. It also has healing properties. The three elements are fire, air, and water. What do? They never explain. It never comes up ever again.
They talk about air a little bit when he's trying to do the crane attack or some shit.
When he's messing with... No, he trains for fire when he's trying to light up the lanterns, and then Chi-Chi's like, oh, yeah, if you light up all the lanterns, just take a step closer to me.
Was that Chi-Chi or was that Mai at that point?
That was Chi-Chi.
Okay.
Yes.
I was unsure, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, because they never actually went back to Chi-Chi's room. The Chi-Chi that we saw coming out of her room
she was just already there.
Yeah, that was the imposter.
That was Mai.
Sussy Chi-Chi.
Sussy. Okay, there's a couple things. Well, there's a lot of things, but why does Goku get visions when he touches the Dragon Balls?
Well, I mean, we have to raise the tension somehow, Chris. It doesn't work, but that's probably what they were thinking when they wrote the first draft of the script.
What's the reason, Adam? There's no reason for him to see visions.
Okay, you got to get all the MacGuffins, right? There's 7 Dragon Balls, so each time you grab one, you got to portray to the audience that there's some kind of progress. You have to have some kind of reward for going on this quest. So, touch the ball, get a vision.
So bad.
I mean, they don't really inform you much of anything other than just like, oh, these entities 2,000 years ago did evil, but...
I thought it was visions of the future, like...
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Never mind.
But, like, the Dragon Balls don't have any property other than granting wish spells. Even in the movie. I guess in the movie they give Goku visions.
Well, movie Bulma said that she was trying to create perpetual energy out of just emanating from the balls. So I guess the evolution version of the Dragon Balls emits something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you can answer this. What was the point of the eclipse? Was that is that purely for the Oozaru transformation?
Okay, so all right. So in the movie, they keep hammering this point that they have to find the Dragon Balls in 2 days because after the 2 days are up, that's when the total solar eclipse happens.
Yes.
And when that happens, that's going to start the Armageddon.
Yeah, it's the apocalypse.
That's when the apocalypse starts.
Yeah.
And when the eclipse comes in the movie, Piccolo gets the Dragon Balls.
Well, he already had them.
Well, he already had them, but that's when he uses them to...
Which that doesn't matter either because they wish on the Dragon Balls after the eclipse.
Yeah.
So that just synced up, I guess. But
yeah, Piccolo could have summoned Shenlong at any point. It didn't have to matter whether it was at the eclipse or not. So maybe the eclipse is for like when Oozaru comes back into Goku because Goku is Oozaru. Awakens from inside of Goku.
But then I was like, would that have been like a permanent transformation, or would he just revert back after the eclipse? That's one of the things I was wondering.
Yeah, because in Dragon, it's every full moon where he turns into.
Yeah, it's every full moon. So I was like, does the eclipse permanently change him? But since he resisted, he doesn't change it fully. I wasn't fully understanding what was going on.
Yeah, there was not much information given to the audience or the characters about how the eclipse actually causes the apocalypse, other than, it's a prophecy.
I assumed it was just for Oozaru's awakening, but it didn't even fully do that, and I don't know if that's because of Goku's willpower and stuff, which, I don't know.
This is fucking... I just watched the movie, and then it ended.
I do want to say, I kind of like the capsule technology. Like I like the usage of
like how it actually has moving parts instead of just
yeah. I kind of like that. Where like I wish they showed more of that rather than just a bike, because I think that would have been really cool. Be like Bulma's like, yeah, here's a house. Yeah, I wish Bulma would use like one that just she threw it as like a house or something. I did like how when she was fighting Mai, she threw it as if it was the Dragon Ball, and then it was like expanding towards her. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Like I like this.
That's a nice little move.
Yeah, like this was one of the better choices for an adaptation. Like I like that.
Yes. However, it does raise the question: if she has access to all this advanced technology, why doesn't she just carry around like a capsule robot protector or a capsule armory that she can just grab weapons from and bop, 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 boom, they're dead?
Yeah. You're right. I mean, that I don't think that's necessarily just from the transformation of the capsule. It's from the idea of them being capsules in the first place, right? Because like in the original Dragon Ball, she's just kind of vain and like cocky, so I could see why she wouldn't bring that stuff, because she's like, I can just do it, and so I could see how she would think that that's fine. But in this, she's like a firm badass, so she should be more aware to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh yeah, there was when they introduced Bulma, the way that she introduced herself, it was like, I'm Bulma Briefs. It sounds like pull my briefs. It's like, okay. That sounds like it would be a funny time on set, because she probably just as a goof said it like pull my briefs, and then some people chuckle and like, okay guys, okay, come back, let's do the real line now.
That could have happened,
and wasted a good 15 minutes of a
good
filming time.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you think of Yamcha? He was in the movie, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I like the angle where he was just like a bandit and just trying to extort them for money, but he pretty much immediately just becomes a good guy.
Yeah,
and he's not really relevant to the plot at all.
No.
So
I don't know why he was there.
I mean, Goku has a love interest, so might as well give one to Bulma. I don't know. It's a high school movie.
Yeah, in Dragon Ball, Yamcha does get with her for a little bit, but then her true love, Vegeta, eventually comes. So
the true alpha male Vegeta
destroys
the weak
Yamcha.
The weak lesser Yamcha.
The character Sifu Norris.
Sifu Norris.
That was the black monk, Roshi master.
Oh, the guy who hands him the Mafuba?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that... I don't remember if that's a character from the manga.
Yeah, what's the name of him?
Sifu Norris.
Well, Sifu...
It's Master Norris, like Chuck Norris.
Yeah, like Chuck Norris, yeah.
I was wondering if that was just that reference and that's it.
I mean, maybe it was like 2011, so maybe.
There's a line... Goku was saying, I think, he's like, I saw a vision where Oozaru killed Bulma and you, Roshi, and then he whispers, and Yamcha. And I was like, why do you whisper Yamcha? Like, I just thought that was weird. That was just something I noted down, just because
he doesn't want to admit to the group that he knows Yamcha is there.
Sure. I did think it was a little, I don't know, I thought it was okay, a little funny when he couldn't light the candles and he just was grabbing a candle and was just lighting it.
That's cheating.
Before she said that's cheating, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, just dry and just dryly just do that. But then she comes in and it's like, what if you light the candles?
If you light a candle, you can take a step closer to me. And then Goku's like, okay.
Sure. I put Goku beat up ChiChi SMH.
Oh yeah,
he knocked her.
Oh, I don't know which one's the real ChiChi.
And then she knocked out. She's like, uh-oh.
And then the imposter just shoots him and he passes out.
Yeah, almost dying. Let's see. I put, because the CGI for Oozaru, I put not bad for a last minute change, because it had a different design originally, and when the trailer came out of its original design, everyone was like, "This is awful."
Oh.
And so they
they had to pull a Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
But Sonic, they kind of waited a few months. I think I don't know how long they waited for Oozaru in 20. Here, let me look it up.
I mean, these aren't the worst CG effects I've seen in a film, but it wasn't good. Like,
that is true. Oozaru Evolution design. Oh yeah, it looked like this.
the monkey.
Yes.
The monkey Oozaru.
Yes.
Looking like
this was his original design that they had in the movie.
Put it up on screen. That's
Yeah.
it's like a rhinoceros kind of.
Like, why?
Do they just want like another non-human monster, or
I guess something that's closer to what Piccolo looks like if he's going to be a servant, I guess. But then again, why? Just why make him this? Whatever. Fuck. I put Shenlong is small.
yeah, he just looks like a generic like Chinese dragon. He does not look.
He's supposed to be the super imposing, gigantic
Body goes for miles off screen.
Yeah, dragon. Like takes up the entire sky.
Here he's just sort of like a wispy, like glowing dragon-looking thing.
Yeah, it's granting you one wish, anything you want. Like, fuck, come on. Like, I put. He asked for Roshi to come back. Why didn't he ask for Roshi and Gohan?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. He could have ordered it like, oh, bring back the old men in my life.
I put why is a random lady helping Piccolo? Because Piccolo survives. Also, Piccolo and Goku fight and Piccolo says, "Oh, the power of the humans can't stop me." And he's telling this to Goku, who he knows is Oozaru.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man. They had like a generic high school like a martial arts action high school thing, and then they're like, "Oh, we got the license to Dragon Ball. All right, what are some names in Dragon Ball? let's copy. Let's Control F. So Mark is now Goku, and and Sarah is ChiChi."
Dude, I put when Goku is able to prevent himself from becoming Oozaru, he turns back to normal. Piccolo's like, how did it happen? What were you doing? And Goku says, the first rule is there are no rules. And I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
It's a soft magic system, Chris. This shit ain't ReZero, right?
Oh my god, bro. That's the movie, I guess. I don't know. We've evolved
as human beings after watching this, I guess. We've
have we? I hope so.
And if you watch it, you'll get what you can. I didn't get much out of this. I mean, I'd rather just go and watch DBZ Rigid again.
I'd rather watch almost anything else. I think I would prefer to watch this over The Last Airbender and Rise of Skywalker. But only if I'm with someone. Because I feel like I could just say more stupid stuff about this movie. The other ones just make me sad.
Yeah, I can see that.
This one doesn't make me sad. I'm just confused. Like, do you have anything else to say about this movie?
Dragon Ball. Dragon. D's nuts. Evolution. I don't podcast. subscribe.
Thanks for watching. I doubt it. And at this point, I wouldn't watch this.
Yeah, that's our rule. We have to tell people to subscribe at the end of the episode now.
Okay, like, subscribe. If I maybe I'll cut this different.
But remember, Chris, there are no rules. Don't subscribe. Don't comment.